people, as you can see by the title of this video is going to be on 7 rules of life. Now you may be thinking, what does that even mean? Well, have you ever been with someone or maybe with a group of people and they do something or maybe they don't do something and you just think in your head like, how don't they know to do or not to do that? That's just like an unspoken rule of life. Or maybe there are things that you do, whether it's in your home or just etiquette to other people. Jesus. Anyway, do I have water? Water, wine, again. Anyways, like I was saying, maybe there are things that you make sure that you do, whether it's in your home or during social encounters with other people. And when you see other people not doing those things, it's like, this is just a rule that you're supposed to live by. Like, how are you not doing this? I'm gonna give you my 7 rules of life that everybody should follow. So the first rule of life is make sure that the common areas in your house are always clean. Common areas in your house, meaning dining room, kitchen, living room, and bathroom. You wanna make sure those areas are clean for a few reasons. Number one, just because common areas in your house are usually the areas used the most, and nobody wants to be sitting in a hot mess all the time. It's just better for your mind, it's better for your mood. Your environment has a lot to do with how you feel, so that's the first reason why you should make sure those areas are clean. And number 2, and this kind of has to do with making sure that you're not stressing yourself out. If somebody comes over to your house unexpectedly or last minute, you don't have to worry about scrambling around your house to clean everything up or letting them into a mess. You know that those areas are clean. Now, I'm not saying deep clean everything every single day. For me, I do that on a weekly basis. So I'll dust, I'll clean the floors, things that have to be deep cleaned, I don't do every day. But I do make sure that everything is picked up. I do make sure there's no clutter. I make sure that nothing's like dirty. So if counters needs to be wiped down or the bathroom sink needs to be wiped down, make sure that you do that. That way, if somebody comes over unexpectedly or at the last minute, you know that the areas that they're gonna be in are already clean and they don't need to be going into your bedroom or anybody else's bedroom. So those areas you can kind of clean on your own time. Number 2, if you A, don't have money, or B, don't like to tip people, don't go out to eat. I really don't understand how people are okay with literally getting served by another human being and not compensating them for it. Not only is it gonna make your server upset, but it's gonna make everybody that's going out with you upset because A, they're either gonna look like the people that are too cheap to tip good service, or B, they'll end up throwing in some extra money because they want that person who earned their tip to get it, and they ain't gonna wanna go out to eat with you anymore. So if you're gonna go out to eat, A, bring money, because nobody wants to go out to eat with someone and at the last minute they're like, oh, I don't get paid until tomorrow, and then you're stuck unexpectedly paying for someone's bill that you didn't plan on. And B, if you don't tip, don't go out to eat either, because like I said, no one's gonna wanna go out to eat with someone who refuses to compensate someone who's providing them service appropriately. Now, if you let the person you're going out to eat with know ahead of time, like if they invite you and you're like, oh, I really don't have the money right now, and they tell you to go anyway and they offer to pay for you, that's completely different. They're offering in the beginning, you're not surprising them without having any money, and they're in control of the tip. But like I said, if you don't have any money to go out to eat and you don't say anything, or you're someone that doesn't know how to tip when you're receiving good service, don't go out to eat. I don't know if everyone knows this, but tips are literally how servers make a living. They get paid like $2.83 an hour, so if you're gonna waste an hour of their time and not leave them a tip when they are serving you, you're taking money out of their pockets at the end of the day, and you wouldn't want your boss to do that to you, so don't do that to them. Number 3, this may seem very basic, but you'd be surprised how many people don't do this. Wash your face. And I mean wash your face every single day. Wash it every night, wash it every morning. Don't think that you can get away with wearing the makeup you wore the day before and slept in the next day. I hate to break it to you, but we all know. We all know that you're wearing the makeup that you wore last night. There's really no way to hide the fact that you're wearing slept-in makeup, and also it's not good for your skin. You need to let your skin breathe. You need to make sure that you're taking care of it, using good skincare products, things that work for you. I think of sleeping in your makeup as like suffocating your face, and nobody wants to have a suffocated looking face. And not to mention that sleeping in your makeup gives you more breakouts, it increases signs of aging, and a whole lot of other things that are just not good for you. So make sure that you're taking your makeup off at night, washing your face, not trying to rewear the same makeup in the morning, and your skin will thank you. Number 4, your child isn't always right. And I know some people are probably thinking, well, duh, there's no child that's always right. But I have witnessed situations where no matter what is going on, the parent will always stick up for their child and try to prove that their child is the one that's doing the right thing. And I'm definitely not saying don't stick up for your child, don't fight for your child when someone's doing something wrong. Absolutely not. But you have to know when to tell your child that they are wrong and when to discipline them. There is nothing worse than going out in public and seeing some bad little kids running around, acting a fool, and the first thing that you think is parenting, right? They have no discipline, their parent's not disciplining them, their parent isn't doing something right because their kids are acting a fool in a public place and have no home training. If your child does something wrong to another child, you have to let them know. You have to discipline them, whether that means making them apologize to the other person, grounding them, taking something away that's theirs. Make sure that you're disciplining your child in the way that works for them, because the last thing that you want is your child to grow up in the real world and think that they're always gonna be right and they're always gonna get what they want. You know what they call that? Failed parenting. I know sometimes it's hard because we obviously love our own kids the most and we would do anything for them, but be a good parent and let your child know when they're wrong and discipline them appropriately. I have no problem letting my daughter know when she is wrong. I make sure that even if it's for something small, she gets disciplined appropriately, because something small can turn into something larger, and then you're sitting there like, what did I do? Why is my child acting like this? I didn't raise them this way. Well, you did when you're not correcting their bad behavior. So make sure that you're preparing your child for the real world and to be a decent human being and know when they're wrong. Number 5, if you are in the gym, a waiting room, probably like a men's bathroom, if there is somewhere else where you can work out, sit, use the bathroom, don't choose the spot directly next to the person that is already in there. I feel like this just really has to do with like personal space. I don't know why you would choose to be directly in someone's personal space if you don't have to. But like the other day, I was at the gym and I was on the treadmill and there was literally like 20 treadmills around me. And this guy decides to go on the one that is directly next to me. And I was just looking around like, there's 20 other treadmills. Why must you be so close to my personal space when you could choose to be somewhere else? And I'm sure it's even worse in men's bathrooms. Like, thank God I'm not a man, I don't have to use urinals, but I would venture to guess that if there's other urinals available, choosing the one directly next to the person that's already going pee probably isn't the most courteous thing to do. So just give people their personal space when you can, like, that's it. All right, so 6 and 7 kind of go together. So maybe this is kind of cheating, maybe there's only 6, but it's technically 2 different things. So, number 6 and 7. Number 6 and 7, part 1. If you haven't spoken to someone in a while, don't let the first interaction that you have with them be to ask them for a favor. I really don't know why people think it's okay to go like months without talking to somebody and then call them up and ask them to do something for them. So what that would tell me is that our relationship isn't important enough for you to reach out to me to hang out or to check in or see how I'm doing, but it's important enough for you to be able to call me when you need something and expect me to do it even though you haven't spoken to me in months or years sometimes. And you wouldn't want anyone to do that to you. Part 2 of that, just because it has to do with favors. If you borrow money from somebody, they shouldn't have to ask you for it back. Now, I will ask for the money back if I allow someone to borrow money because I have no problem doing that. Do I think that I should have to? No. I know that if I'm in a situation where I need to borrow something from someone, whether it's money, clothing, like an outfit, or whatever it is, you should not have to ask for those things back. It's the person who borrowed the item or the money or whatever it is to make sure that they give it back to you in a timely manner. Timely manner is key. If you've owed me money for years, I've probably forgotten about it by now, and I also probably will never let you borrow money again. Same thing goes for clothing. If you had a clothing item of mine for months or over a year, most likely I've forgotten about it if I haven't asked you for it back, but I will also never let you borrow my clothing again. So just be considerate of other people's things and don't borrow things and expect not to have to give it back until that person asks for it back. Because there's some people that won't do it. There's some people that just don't feel comfortable asking for money that they lent someone or asking for an item that they lent someone, and they'll just secretly be mad at you and feel real resentful. And this is just kind of like a bonus rule that I just thought of. And a lot of people do not follow this rule, so I guess it's not a rule for everyone, but it's definitely a rule for me. If you are going through something personal, it's probably not a good idea to put it all over the internet. I feel like people may be disagreeing with me, but in my opinion, if you're, for example, going through maybe a breakup, or maybe you're having an argument with your significant other, and you put it all over the internet, right? Like, this person's an asshole, I can't stand them, moving on, single, somebody hit me up, which I'm so entertained when I see things like that, so maybe you should keep on doing it. Just keep on doing it. I'll watch. And then the next day, or sometimes a few hours later, they're posting pictures with that other person saying how in love they are and how great the other person is, when you just told everyone that they were an asshole. So like, I don't get it. Like I said, I'll watch the internet drama all day, eating my popcorn, but at the end of the day, in all seriousness, it makes you look stupid. And I know some people are probably like, I don't care how I look to other people. If you don't care about other people's opinions, why are you telling everyone your business in the first place? And I don't care what anyone says, nobody wants to look like a fool. So stop making yourself look like a fool by putting all your business all over the internet for people to judge you by. And side note, don't get mad when other people comment or judge or give their opinion on whatever you're putting on the internet, because at that point, it's public information that you're telling everyone. So if you don't want anyone's opinion, keep it to yourself. All right, well, that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my 7 plus a bonus rules of life that I personally feel that everybody should follow. I would love to know what your rules of life are, so if you want to leave those in the comments below, I would love to read them. I'm trying to get the schedule together because now I have a little bit more going on than I did before, and I have a couple of ideas for some new different videos that I want to film as well. So until next time, which will be at some point next week, remember to live life beautiful from the inside out, and I will see you guys then.